before we get into this clip here, I just want to say shout out to these Ku Klux Kamala echoes, the deranged view, these cackling hens, the spew. Did I mention Heaven's Rejects? And these cat ladies, okay. Yeah, and lunch ladies at that, right? So, with that being said, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and shout out to the King Squad. Okay, I hope you guys are having a great and awesome day. You guys are awesome, and don't let anybody tell you any different. With that being said, shout out to these deranged individuals. All right, let's get right into this clip here.
Here's what I'm fascinated by. They both have main character energy. They both want to be powerful and the people in charge. And I'm not convinced that this alliance is going to be super long lasting. There's just a chance there's going to be friction between Elon and Trump. But I will say this, there was a micro drama brewing.
They think that the Republicans are the Democrats. Wild.
Nick Jonas, one of my other favorite Jonas brother, retweeted something with Elon Musk, and people just dragged him and came for him and were like, how could you support this guy? I would just remind folks, we think of Elon as like the chaotic guy who tweets about politics on the internet. A lot of America thinks of a guy who builds rockets, who created Starlink, which could save thousands of lives.
Here's the thing, he's on track to be the first trillionaire in this country. Yes. And he wants to cut funding for farmers, for example. You know, as they say, no farmers, no food.
Yeah.
And other working people.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, man. I make the mistake of expecting common sense from people who don't make any, who don't have it, who just lack. They're like sharing a brain. And, okay, I get it. Only one can use it at a time, all right? And clearly Joy Behar is brainless in this moment. Somebody has the brain, we just don't know who, and it's clearly not Joy Behar. So, as far as, knocking Elon, what are you talking about?
Well, so he's like the Grinch who stole Christmas, this guy. So
if you're a supporter of The View, my condolences.
Why should anybody praise him?
My point is the disconnect, I think, between like average Americans who think of him and associate him with actually great things he's done. Tesla has done great things for this country and for this economy. And they're not thinking about that he's tweeting about government funding bills or conspiracy theories.
The problem is people really need to understand that he is not an elected official. Yeah. So he's in an advisory position, and so he's going to have conflict of interest with all of his businesses, because if he were an elected official, there would be a system of checks and balances, and he would have to divest from those businesses. So he's going to earn money from our government while running our government. And as Hakeem Jeffries said in a press conference, but also in this tweet, he said House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government, hurt the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. And the consequences are exactly, Joy, what you're talking about. They are hurting working people. You want to keep on saying?
I just don't, where in the Democrat playbook do they help working class people? Why do they all of a sudden act like they care about the working class? I mean, seriously, somebody make it make sense, because it doesn't. I mean, where in the one brain that they're sharing do they sometimes think that they're helping the working class? I mean, have you not looked at Biden's track record? Also, side note, okay, Jurassic Joe and Ku Klux Kamala have done a lot, just nothing good. That's important to remember. So back to what we were talking about. I mean, this is literally why we voted for Trump, okay? Because Trump is for the people. Okay, he's for the people. He's for the party of common sense lies with Trump, okay? And Trump lies with the party of common sense. The Demonocrats, the Decepticonocrats, Demon Rats, Democrats, they're just not, they're not there. This woke agenda, turning kids into Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and, somewhere in there, they're they've deceived themselves, and they've deceived themselves so much that they believe the lies, that they sit here and think that they're actually helping the working class. What working class? Who? You mean the immigrants that you guys let across the border? Is that the new working class? We know you were trying to replace this with them. Is that who you're talking about?
They're hurting their own voters. Everybody keeps on saying,
you guys have hurt your own voters.
Republicans are now the party of the working class. Well, working class is about to be
Well, and let us
hurt by
remember
this.
when the government shuts down, Congress still receives pay, which I think should not.
Members, but not staff. That always irks me.
Members, but
Not
they also
staff.
in the spending bill asked for a raise. And normally I'm all for people having living wages, but they make $175,000, which is more than 90% of this country. If they cannot figure out how to do the one job they have, which is not bend the knee to their party, but serve the people, they don't deserve a raise, and they should not get one.
Talk about this, because this is crazy.
Well,
I don't really take financial advice from the Democrats. Especially with, Sleepy Joe out here just writing checks to foreign countries and funding people's wars and, giving, nice cribs to immigrants and making our lives increasingly difficult, and inflation and all this other hogwash and nonsense. Who is clapping in the background? Like, turn the camera around. Like, who is supporting this?
So, Whoopi just handed this card. There's a lot of conflicts of interest with Elon Musk. Tesla received $41.9 million in federal contracts, about $4.9 billion in government subsidies.
Yes, they did.
A $465 million low-interest loan from the Department of Energy when the company began. So,
And these are all the things he wants to cut.
Yes.
That's the piss off.
Yes.
He wants to cut, he wants to keep other people from getting these same subsidies. I don't understand. Listen, they keep talking about how the elites are in. Well, now the elites are in, and this is how elites treat you.
Yes.
She thought she ate. She thought she ate. She thought she was spitting fire. No, you're not, Poopy Goldberg. You're not. All right. I really have no hope that these people will come around. I think they're a lost cause, personally. Jesus cannot save. If Jesus can't save these people, what makes you think you can? That's kind of where my mind is at when I see the spew. Okay, these cat ladies, these lunch ladies, the deranged view. I just don't think there's any saving them. I think they're lost in the sauce, and too far gone, quite frankly.
This is how elites do it.
That's right.
I mean, where I'm at on the government funding bill is this. If Republicans are going to throw Mike Johnson under the bus for compromising and coming up with a bipartisan deal that Democrats were going to vote for, then they need to come up with how, with their 1-2 seat majority, they can pass it with all Republican votes.
But when they
And
vote
that's going to be a lot harder to do.
Somebody told me when they vote secretly, like they did in this case, was it, or was it Matt Gaetz' case?
Oh, it was,
that was Gaetz.
It was Gaetz.
Then they vote different, though, when they are.
Well, that's what leadership races are often different results than what you would publicly expect because nobody sees how they're
Well,
voting.
and also, think about this. If they don't vote publicly, Musk warned on X, any member of the House or Senate who votes for this outrageous spending bill deserves to be voted out in 2 years.
But I don't understand. You are not in office yet.
Yes, but
you are not
an
elected official. You are not an elected official.
Yeah.
And somebody has to come up with how this is going to work, because there can't be 9 presidents.
No.
It just can't be.
They keep insisting that he won a mandate. He did not win a mandate.
Who won a mandate?
Trump.
That they say that Trump won in a mandate. He did not win in a mandate.
Meaning
he did not.
that he won overwhelmingly.
He won by
About a million
1.5%.
votes.
or
But
something.
about a million
it doesn't
votes.
matter.
It was a very close race.
He won. He's the one that we have to have this dialogue
people voted
with.
for Trump. They didn't vote for Elon
They
Musk.
didn't vote for E.
I was asking Alyssa backstage.
It's listening to them talk is very nauseating. They think they're making sense. And it's really unfortunate. It's hard to watch people be dumb. It is, They're saying people didn't vote. Bach, people didn't vote for Elon. I'm like, what? We know that, okay, but Elon supports Trump, and Trump got a whole lot of support from Elon, okay? And first of all, why are you throwing up Elon like he's an elected person, okay? I mean, seriously. And I'm kind of in a position of, and Elon definitely does have a voice. I mean, he's one of the richest men in the world, okay? He definitely has a voice, and he supports Trump. That's a big deal. So, I mean, why are you dragging Elon? I just think they need somebody to complain about. That's kind of how they strike me, the raging liberal, rage. They're always going to be raging and looking for a reason to rage. I mean, we could have world peace and they'd have a problem with the air being too crisp. Oh man, they could have a problem with the world being too peaceful. Oh man, it's too quiet out here. There's just too much peace. I'm just sick of all this peace. Somebody throw a rock at somebody else. Don't actually do that. But that's kind of like, I can see Whoopi Goldberg just kind of like making up chaotic scenarios to disrupt the atmosphere. All right. They need a reason to rage. And then on top of that, Trump is keeping their lights on. Trump keeps these people paid. Mentioning his name keeps them paid. It keeps their lights on. It keeps bummy Hostin, okay, employed.
So let's say this shutdown happens, right? And it's happened before. Yeah. What happens to the country?
So it can have major economic consequences. To give people, to assuage some fears, Social Security still goes out. Okay. Medicare and Medicaid does. Troops will work without pay. They will get back pay after the fact. The Defense Department is still funded, so our operations, our country's still safe.
Troops don't get paid?
Not until afterwards. Small business loans will be paused. WIC benefits can be temporarily stopped. It's pretty catastrophic. And everyone in D.C. knows it's terrible for the government to shut down. They've got to get this figured out. And if they have to stay and work through Christmas, they stay and work through.
One job.
One job. Funded.
But they're being led by 7,000 people. Everybody's got their finger in here. It's different if you're on a show and you have an opinion. That's different. Yeah. When you're doing what this guy is doing, it's not right. You are not an elected official.
You messed up. You messed up, right? It's not right. You care about morality and what's right and wrong? I mean, seriously. On top of that, they have one job. Bach? I mean, can we talk about how the Democrats had one job, and that's not to fumble America? And guess what? That's exactly what they did. You guys had one job, and you fumbled the country. Okay? Where is Biden at? He's running off into the Amazon. He's 1 foot on the beach, 1 foot in the coffin. Shout out to whoever said that in the comments. That was absolutely hilarious. But I mean, seriously. And then you throw Puppet Master Ku Klux Kamala up on stage out here to, ready to kill. Well, let me not say that, how YouTube is, but ready to delete the nation and just be the leader amongst the, DEI duplicates. And along with Gorilla Grip, Fannie Willis, and Latoya the Destroyer, Letitia James. And it was just a whole mess, this whole hate campaign against Trump. I mean, you guys really showed your true colors here. I mean, really. I can go on, but I digress. These people are gone. Okay, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Hashtag cancel the view. Drop down below if you would sign a petition to cancel the view. Hashtag cancel the view. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to the King Squad. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. And, we're going to keep going. Peace. Road to 200K.